Hey guys, and welcome to 9.9 Comics with Chris and Kyle. I am Kyle, and these are comics being released on March 20th, 2019, and here is this week's top 5 picks. Starting with number 5, we have Spider-Man Life Story number 1 of 6 out of Marvel Comics, written by Chip Zdarsky, art by Mark Bagley, and cover art by Chip Zdarsky. In 1962, in Amazing Fantasy number 15, 15-year-old Peter Parker was bitten by a radioactive spider and became the Amazing Spider-Man. 57 years have passed in the real world since that event. So what would have happened in that same amount of time passed for Peter as well? A special high-end limited series that is part of the celebration of Marvel's 80th anniversary. Spider-Man Life Story combines the talents of Chip Zdarsky and Mark Bagley to tell the entire story of Spider-Man from the beginning to end, set against the key events of the decades through which he lived. In this first oversized issue, when Flash Thompson is drafted to serve during the Vietnam War, Spidey must weigh the question of where his responsibility truly lies. So, you can tell just by what's coming from this is going to be a big deal for Spidey fans everywhere, which is why it kind of edges itself on this list. And also there's huge internet buzz already for this. They've kind of claimed it. The internet has enveloped it and claimed it as their own, so you know that people are going to be looking for it. And I mean, just Spider-Man is huge right now overall, even if you weren't a Spider-Man. I mean, let's say there is going to be there has been an influx of Spider-Man fans in the past 5 years. We know this. So this is why Spider-Man is very important to pay attention to right now. And coming in at number 4, we have Rise number 1, coming out of Scout Comics, written, art, and cover art by Don Agujo. 9-year-old royal orphan Zakaya falls heir to the throne of the broken post-apocalyptic kingdom of Pacifica, and must endure the trials of the House of Jacer. Or Jacer, I don't know. A series of tests designed to prepare her to occupy the seat of the kingdom. Recently orphaned and reluctant to embark on a set of trials to teach and test her on the responsibilities that now rest on her shoulders, she is guided on this tumultuous path by soldiers and strangers, plagued by their own struggles, pasts, and hidden agendas, embarking on the journey on a dark road with strangers who now answer to her and inexperience in carrying the weight of the world. She's left the only home she's ever known to explore the realm she now has the responsibility to rule. Behind them, the empty throne is at the mercy of a ruling class and threatens to usurp it for their own dark agendas. And just beyond the shadows ahead, the emergence of an ancient evil threatens to halt their journey dead in its tracks. That is a lot to take in. I mean, they've basically laid out what's going to happen, but it looks like it's going to be very good. And I mean, it's coming out of Scout Comics, so it's going to be a very low print. So when they're going to be all bought up relatively quick. Also, it's an insane story. I mean, come on. But Scout Comics has also been releasing a lot of gold lately, which is why we're giving this a shoe-in on today's top 5, because for a very small publisher like Scout Comics, they're releasing a lot of good things, and so we're paying a little more attention to them right now. And coming in at number 3, we have Venom number 12. Again, some Venom. Out of Marvel Comics, of course, written by Donny Cates and art and cover art by Ryan Stegman. Once the worst nightmare of New York's criminal element, Eddie Brock has been living a nightmare of his own. Cut off from the symbiote's personality and now dealing with the resurgence of the cancer that once ravaged his body. With no one else to turn to, Eddie must revisit the Maker, the only person who's able to provide any insight into what's been going on with the alien symbiote as of late. So it's a continuation of the previous arc that Donny basically rewrote Venom's history, and so we're in a really good time in Venom right now. But I mean, it's Stegman and Cates, so I mean, it's hard not to it's hard not to focus on that. And the previous arc did very well, especially the early issues, and the first appearance of Null are highly collectible. So this is why we're back on Venom again. I mean, it's back, so we're back for it. And our number 2 pick for this week is Immortal Hulk number 15 out of Marvel Comics, written by Al Ewing, art by Joe Bennett, and cover art by Alex Ross. Dr. Leonard Samson is a gamma mutate and part-time superhero who recently came back from the dead. He's been wanting to discuss that with an old patient of his, but he's no longer just here to see, but he's not here to see Bruce Banner. Take a seat on the couch. Immortal Hulk. It's going to be quite a session. So this is, of course, again, just like every other issue that's come out for this comic, it is out of stock, so that's saying a lot. And honestly, this is probably the best Hulk that we've had in years, so it's not only good for the Hulk, but it's good for Marvel, but it's good for us too, because we get some more stuff to collect. But it's really important for our pick, just because it's just picking up, it's immediately, the day that you buy it, it is worth more money. So it's an immediate investment, gain in investment as soon as you walk out the door, as long as you get the right variants. But I mean, as for this comic, it really doesn't matter. And now it's time for the 9.9 no-brainer! Me, apparently. Today's 9.9 no-brainer is Knights of the Golden Sun number 507 out of Mad Cave Studios, written by Mark London, art and cover art by Mauricio Villarreal. In Azrael's lair, we discover Azrael and Sandalphon's true intentions, as well as their ultimate trump card. Eventually, Lucifer confronts Azrael after regaining his memory and is surprised to see that Azrael is openly defying the laws of nature and the word of God with her latest abomination. Meanwhile, at the House of David, Michael is gifted a relic and power thought to have been lost to humanity that will help him and Gabriel gather their brothers, defeat Azrael, and save humanity in God's absence. So, as you've known probably in the past few episodes, we've been talking about Knights of the Golden Sun a lot, but the reason why it's a 9.0 brainer this week is, I mean, A, it's out of stock just like every other issue that has come out, and also there's something special about this comic. It was only supposed to be a 6-issue run, but they added a 7th issue because it was doing so well and the fans demanded it. But not only that, but Mad Cave is going to be doing a second print of the first issue, which will mark the first ever second print Mad Cave has ever published or printed or done anything with. So it's kind of a big deal for such a small company, and this being this run being what made it. So with that said, I mean, it's pretty important when a comic changes a publisher's history. So I think that demands a spot in the 9.9 no-brainer for this week. And moving on to the honorable mentions, we're going to start off with Marvel Comics, and we have Spider-Man City at War number 1, Guardians of the Galaxy number 3, Captain Marvel number 3, Savage Sword of Conan number 3, and Wolverine Infinity Watch number 2. Going to Image Comics, we have Farmhand number 6. This is their return after a break, so it's pretty important. Lazarus Risen number 1 and Middle West number 5. And then Boom Studios has Firefly Bad Company number 1, and then DC Comics with High Level number 2 and Batman number 67, specifically for the Dave Johnson variant, and it's on back order, so it's a big deal. And then with Dark Horse Comics, we have Invisible Kingdom number 1, which is a Diamond Gem of the Month, and it actually looks pretty good, guys. So you want to hop on that. But with that, thank you for watching, and always remember to like and subscribe, comment, all that stuff. Remember to click the bell if you already haven't, so you can get your notifications when we go live. And with that, thanks, guys.